Big up, guys. It's your Mark and MUFC fan, and you know what it is. It's the morning show, the morning view. It's the midday one, and now at present, like and subscribe because this is the match preview. Big up to each and everyone joining. Big up to Lucky Singh in the building. He's been here early. I want to be aggressive on headers and tools. We got to win tonight. Big up to you. Big up to Ricardo Pereira. Says hi all. Big up to you, my bro. Hope you're well. Cirksy, Anthony Santos, Harry Maguire, Malasia, please involved in tonight's match. We already know what you would like to see in our starting lineup. Big up to you, Lucky Singh. Hope you're having a good one. And guys, this is going to be a presentation that's a little bit different. You know, I'm going to have one or two guests on the show today. And as well, I'm going to be coming in talking about some news and some updates coming into the match ahead of Tottenham this evening. As you know, it's the Carabao Cup match, guys. It's going to be an interesting encounter. We are away at Tottenham Hotspurs. We need to get this win. I certainly don't want to experience what Tottenham fans are going to be saying online if they knock us out. So, one of your mobs said the Carabao Cup is not a major trophy. Well, I mean, I can't tell everyone what to feel, you know what I mean? Some guys prefer the Premier League. Some guys prefer winning the Carabao Cup. Lots of people have these opinions, my bro. Big up to Frankie in the building, and of course, certainly big up to you, Prince Hood, in the building. Don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. Let's get into the presentations, guys. It's going to be very interesting. Let's get into this. Let's talk about what's happening, none other right now than with Alejandro Garnacho. As you know, the manager has, he was dropped for the game, the last outing, and it's going to be interesting to see if he makes himself back into the starting lineup, which it looks certainly like it's on the cards. Ruben Amorim has been speaking to the press, and he has been speaking about Garnacho, and he was like, Garnacho, he's a bit upset with me, I think. He's trained very well. I'm very, anxious to see what he is willing to do. He has a very good performance in training since being dropped, but he seemed a little bit upset with me. And, it seems a little bit like that, but I'm really happy. I would do the same, is what Amorim said. He's ready for this game. Is it that Amorim has made the right decision, guys? Because Garnacho is a fine talent on his day, but he also perhaps someone who needs the occasional reminder that his place in the team is far from guaranteed. The 20-year-old could go on to have a big career at Old Trafford, but he needs to have the right mentality as well as the right natural ability and the execution of all of these things all together, the right balance. So, we can see that Ruben Amorim is trying to develop it in a way that he sees fit. Of course, the player is upset for being benched in the last game, and he might be showing it, but apparently the manager is excited by that because he's expecting a reaction from the kid, and he said the same. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens next because there's a lot of reports coming out right now with Man United as well. And, for one other situation to our next, this is now another headline that everyone is talking about. Marcus Rashford is not in the Manchester United squad for the Tottenham clash. Has he been reprimanded again? Is this for what happened? I would not say that. I think it's certainly normal. Maybe he wants to get a reaction out of the player, and maybe this is why he kept him out for 2 games. Sometimes you have to deal with things differently. And of course, we can all sit and say maybe it's because of his comments, maybe because, they want to get, he doesn't fit the system. But like Amorim said, I just want to help the guy. Not only him, but everyone in the team develop to their full potential. Because if they play well, Man United wins. And I agree with the manager. So if he left him out of the squad for some reason, that's just his opinion. That's how he's going to manage things. But it's going to be interesting to see how we move on from there because it's going to be an interesting time going forward, guys, because like we have been looking and we have been seeing, Manchester United stocks are clearly on the rise. We got that win this weekend away to Man City. We're going away to Spurs. And of course, we don't want to lose to Spurs. So let's see how it goes, guys, because in this current moment, I would say there's a lot of history behind this encounter. Let's get into that because you know what? It's going to be interesting to see who prevails in this game tonight. My bad. Sorry about that. The Carabao Cup can go a long way into buying both managers something they need, and that's time. The furor around Amorim's decision to drop Marcus Rashford for Sunday's Manchester derby and the forward's subsequent admission that he's ready for a new challenge has gone some way to reaffirming the scale of the Portuguese's task at Old Trafford. Now, Ange Postecoglou, who Tottenham side host Amorim tonight in the Carabao Cup quarterfinal, aptly quipped on Sunday, "There was always noise about Manchester United. Come on, mate, where have you been? Rashford has repeatedly left out of the United squad again for the visit to North London. Will that change things? Will United get a result? From what I'm looking at this perspective, let the manager manage." Rashford's future would inevitably continue to be the talking point throughout January, in spite of Amorim's insistence that he wants the forward to embrace the biggest challenge of being a success at his boyhood club, and is likely to prove an unwanted distraction in the manager's attempt to stabilize the club this season. However, I disagree. We can see the performances of the team so far. We have been seeing the idea from day one, and since then the performances have been improving. Of course, we suffered some defeats, and it's not to be expected that we didn't, because at that time, he had not much training sessions and not much reference of application of the new training, the new format, the new system, and the new style, in actual games. Now that he's had a few of that, we can see improvements week in, week out, especially with other players. And as we get into the talks, before anyone says different, I would just like to let you guys know I definitely am interested to see what's happened. Another talking point for today's show, guys, is that Man United goalkeeper could, for the first time, start against Tottenham. And we're talking about Bayende, guys. Bayende might get a start today. You never know what could happen. I think this is due to a result of, possibly Andrew Onana might be just needing a little bit of rest. And maybe the Portuguese manager would like to see what this guy has to offer. Of course, a lot of people are thinking that, Bayende, we should sell him. He has not played much. Maybe there's something about that. Well, let's get into that, guys, because, it's going to be interesting. And with the busy fixture list in December, clubs usually rotate their sides in the cup competitions. However, Ruben Amorim could be in a dilemma as his side faces strong opponents. Goalkeeper Altay Bayende has started in previous 2 League Cup games and could feature for the first time under new manager at Spurs. The inexperienced goalkeeper will hope to produce a positive display to impress Amorim if he is selected. He was a virtual spectator at United, ran riot in a 7-0 victory over Barnsley in the 3rd round, and featured again in the 5-2 win against Leicester City in the round 4. He made 5 saves but could have done better for the Foxes' first goal. While Andre Onana is the first choice, made a few errors in the last couple of weeks, he has shown massive improvement this season. He has been sublime, saves on multiple occasions, including a penalty, and 1 point for the Red Devils. Even if Bayern gets the opportunity today, Onana is expected to start against Bournemouth on Sunday. Guys, let's get into this because it's going to be interesting to see what's going on with the predicted starting lineups. Of course, I'm going to start with this one because it's going to feature my boy, Bruno Fernandes. And, at the end of the day, I think the Capitan will start getting in better form as the season goes. And said he usually win a trophy in his second season. He did say that. Let's see what happens because I think we're going to knock Spurs out tonight. Big up to Randy in the building. I hope you're good. The great one, my brother. Hope you're well. Big up to you, broski. Let's get into this because it's going to be interesting. Let's hear what the possibilities are because there's a lot of journalists thinking that there might be different starting lineups. As I can see, there are 3 different ones so far. So let's discuss that and then we'll create a lineup and hear what you guys have to say. Manchester United make the trip to Tottenham in the Carabao quarterfinals this evening. And this team that just won against Manchester City in the away game on Saturday. Let's see what's happened here. Spurs also head into the clash in a confident move. 5-0 win at Southampton saw Spurs score 5 times before halftime at the weekend to end a 5-game winless run. This competition offers a realistic avenue for silverware success, something Ange Postecoglou has predicted in his second season in the North London Club, like one of my comments just said earlier on. The Manchester United and Spurs team news are coming, so let's get into Tottenham since they are the host side and we don't really want to talk too long about them. It's going to be interesting to see who their starting lineup is, and I think it's going to be featuring the likes of Heung-min Son because they are probably going to go strong. The predicted lineup for Tottenham is going to be a 4-2-3-1, and it's said that, Fraser Foster is going to be in goal. We're going to probably see the likes of Pedro Porro, Dragusin in the centre-back partnering with Archie Gray, and a left-back submission of Jed Spence. Yes, the youngster who hasn't really played much is probably going to get one of his first starts of the season. East Bissouma next to Papa Matasar. Dejan Kulusevski and James Maddison are going to make up that midfield, with Song Heung-min and Dominic Solanke leading the attack for the Spuds, as I would say, because you know what? They are the Spuds, guys. Now, let's move on to the more important news elsewhere in Man United. And Nusa Mazwari is a doubt for the clash, so Terrell Marcia might soon be recalled. Mason Mount is out after his early substitution at the weekend and probably be out for the next 9 weeks, guys. It's not been a good start at his Manchester United career. He's been out for most of last season, and it seems like it's continuing this season. Rashford and Alejandro, who will drop from the squad to face Manchester City at the weekend after his omission from the match day. We all know what happened there, but it's suggested that Garnacho has been included in the team sheet for this game. And the predicted starting lineup will see Bayende, Delo, Euro, Maguire, Martinez, Malacia, Casemiro, Menu, Ahmad, Fernandez, and Højlund. And it's expected that Garnacho will be coming off the bench. But that's just one of the options. What are you guys thinking about that? Let me know in the comments. Big up to Randy, says, come on by in there, make your mark, take your chance, make us great. Big up to the football fan zone in the building. Big up, my brother. I hope you're well. Sunson is saying, Mark, any video on Trinidad and Tobago versus Saudi Arabia? Big up. Bro, you know what happened? That game was live at the same time I was actually doing an online certification. So I ended up couldn't doing the watch along. But I'm going to do a reaction to the game. So I left the stream up. I'm going to switch it to a reaction stream, which I'm going to do later on this evening. Hopefully before we kick off against Spurs, or maybe afterwards. So, bro, I apologize that I didn't actually do the watch along. I really could not make it. You know, my apologies there, broski. Big up to you. So, guys, let's get into another one of the famous lineups predictions that might be coming in. I would like to get you guys all the information I can, and then you can let me know what you think about it, because you know what? At the end of the day, we definitely want to win this clash. I know some people might not really be interested in the Carabao Cup, but for me, I would like to win every single cup competition that we feature. That's just how I am. I've always been a fan, and I've always looked at it like, you know what? Even if it's small, we should still win it easier, nevertheless. Actually, son, it was broadcasted. So I actually saw the broadcast, but I couldn't watch it because, like I said, I was taking a certification at the time. So yeah, that was the one thing. It actually was broadcasted, bro. It was on BWin Sports. So yeah, Tottenham Hotspurs again. Let's go. The EFL Cup definitely is going to be an interesting competition for Manchester United and for Tottenham Hotspurs, because both teams have some history in this competition, including that winner one time from Dejan. I think it's Stankovic is his name. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Now, Tottenham's defense have been ravaged by injury this season, and Destiny Udogie is the latest concern after he is withdrawn in the first half at the weekend at St. Mary's Stadium. However, Postecoglou has confirmed that the Italian has a chance of featuring on Thursday night. Considering that Vicario, Mickey Van der Ven, Ben Davies, and Christian Romero are all sidelined at present, Postecoglou could use some positive news regarding Udogie, with options running low in the back line. Further up the pitch, Rodrigo Betancourt is still missing through suspension, while Richarlison, Mikey Moore, and Wilson Odobert are all unavailable as Spurs squad became more and more stretched. The Tottenham predicted lineup from this also is very similar to what we have spoken about before, so they might be clearly onto something there. But there is some difference in the Manchester United starting lineup for tonight, because this guy predicted that Onana will start with Euro, Maguire, and Mazraoui, while Martinez will be holding the bench. He predicts that Anthony will start on the wing back, Menu, Ugarte, with Malacia on the next side, Ahmad, Garnacho, no, not Malacia, Ahmad, Garnacho, and Fernandez, with Højlund starting up front. It's going to be interesting, guys, because for me, I think that it's a very interesting clash, and it's one of those things where, you know, the two managers, they are very tactically qualified, in my opinion. I would say they both like to play attacking football. Of course, we know that Ange Postecoglou loves that high line, mate, you know what I mean? And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there, because that high line is going to be susceptible tonight. You know, a 3-4-3 formation is very dangerous, especially when you're playing against a back four. And if that back four is too high, it provides an advantage for the 3-4-3 system. You know what I mean? I like Onana. Maybe it's an African bias, but he's a clown. I just think he's a big personality, my guy. You know, sometimes he makes some horrible mistakes, and of course, I get mad at him a lot for that because you know what I mean. I don't expect him to make those basic mistakes, in my honest opinion. But at the same time, it's one of those things where I look at it from the perspective that no one is perfect. So maybe, you know, he has come up big this season. So I'm leaving it up that he's going to be coming up big more than he's going to be making mistakes. Big up to Abdullah Irwan in the building. I hope you're having a great one, my brother. Big up to you. We need a win and we need to gain revenge. Come on, United. Most certainly, we need to get revenge. And I'm hoping for a big scoreline. Prince Hood is saying Rashford will cook when he leaves United. Now, you know, Prince Hood, to be 100% honest, bro, I think he would. You know, the problem for me is I just think that the environment is trapping him. Certain things, you know, just mentally have him blocked. And that's all it is. You know, he's a talent, certainly. He's a very big talent. He has all the mechanics to be an elite top performer in world football. He just hasn't been showing it consistently. And, you know, if he does go elsewhere and smashes it, I'll be happy for the kid. I'll be happy for him, to be honest. I'm being so real. I'll be happy for him. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I always wish that he would become that player at Man United. And if he couldn't, I'm going to be disappointed. But at the same time, I'm still going to have hope for him. I mean, I supported him for almost a decade, bro. It's been 10 years I've been cheering for this young brother in the Man United shirt. So, yeah, bro. Never want to pray for anyone's downfall. Afternoon, Mark and all. Hit the like button. Big up to Alex Adu in the building. And let's get into another one of the Tottenham lineups, guys, because it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in this tie. And, you know, guys, for me, I'm excited to see what Manchester United is going to do tonight. You know, we have not played Tottenham with this new formation and style that we have been playing in the last couple. Yeah, he definitely should. We have not, you know what I mean? And the way we played Tottenham the last time, I know a lot of people would say that, you know, they destroyed us. But for me, when we had 11 at 11, there was many chances where we should have gone 2-1 up before we got the red card. And of course, you know, there were handball in the game after we got the red card. We didn't even get the handball. So there's always these circumstances with Tottenham where the referee favors them, you know, gives them an extra leg up in games, you know, saves them from getting red cards and penalties, because they always seem to concede those things against Man United, but it never given. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this game. I hope the players are ready for revenge and are going to come in swinging, because definitely for me, I'm telling you guys, we need to beat Tottenham. And I'm going with a 4-2 prediction for this game. I'm going to say it out early. So if you guys have your predictions, drop it in the comments. We'll discuss it in a little bit as well, because, you know, big up to Alex. Good luck to Rashi and his future if that's what's happening. 100%, bro. You know, bless up to all the players who, you know, came through the academy, couldn't and didn't actually work out for them at the Man United senior team, and they had to move on. It's just one of those things for me where I look at it that, you know, I wish they could, but sometimes it's just not the reality. You know what I mean? And as much as we might have our criticisms for these players, I'm pretty sure, you know, we could still accept that Rashford has tried his best and it's just not worked out. You know what I mean? What do I think of Tottenham? They're a weakened team. From the team that played us, they are so much weaker. They have lost a few key players in defense through injury as well. And they have not been performing especially well. And even though they beat Southampton 5-0, we beat Southampton 3-0 in the second game of this season. So for me, I'm not too worried about that scoreline against Southampton 5-0. I mean, they didn't score a goal in the second half, which means their attack stopped functioning well. So it's one of those things. For me, I look at it from the perspective that this new United team with this new formation has a different kind of vibe about them going. And I think they're going to be, you know, giving Spurs a big, big shock tonight at home. Hopefully we can silence the Spurs stadium tonight. That's just my goal. You know what I mean? Cold Spurs are not a bad team. They're not. I'm not saying they're rubbish. I'm not saying they're rubbish at all, because they are above us in the league currently. They beat us 3-0. So they're not a bad team. But we definitely have the potential and have the quality to take them on and put them to the sword, guys. I definitely think that Man United can take Spurs and drop them at home. Maybe we'll not have a clean sheet, but we could certainly win. We can certainly score a few goals and keep them from scoring. We have been doing pretty well in keeping out the open goals in open play for the last couple of games on the Amarim, as you know. So it's one of those things where I feel like defensively, we're a stronger team than they faced earlier on the season. Your prediction is 2-0 Spurs. Interesting. I would lose it if Ahmad does a wing-back shift to accommodate Garnacho's. I would generally lose it as it's not fair, but obviously still back in the manager. Well, when I mentioned Garnacho, great one, I was thinking more like Garnacho was going to play the wing-back and Ahmad was going to be playing in the 10 next to Bruno. So that was what I was seeing from what I was mentioning on the starting lineup that I was thinking. But I'm going to create a starting lineup in my opinion. So, you guys could get in the comments and tell me who you think we should have in this starting lineup. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens because guess what, guys? This is our starting lineup. You know what I mean? So let's just do one. Let's not even stress about it. Let's just get a lineup building going, a brand new one for Man United against Tottenham Hotspurs. Let's discuss who do you think will start. And for me, I think we're going to see an interesting selection. I'm going to put Bayende in goal to be fair because I would like him to continue his run in being the goalkeeper for the tournaments. Spell this guy's name. Right. So I'm going to put him in goal. That's one. Let me bring this to the screen right now. Let me zoom it up. Can you guys see that? Boom. So what are your thoughts, guys? Who do you think? Oh, let me change the formation as well, bro. I forgot that. 3-4-3. Boom, boom, boom. 3-4-2-1. Yeah, this is the formation. Boom. So, guys, what are your thoughts? Let me know. Let's get this starting lineup going. Let's see who's going to be starting. I hope to see some interesting news in the chat. Let's get this lineup built. Ricardo Perez saying no Romero, no Van de Ven, and still playing a high line. Oh, baby boy, this is going to be fun. I think Ricardo is onto something here. Okay, that's better. Garnacho needs to suffer first. He needs a few shifts at wing back to prove himself. 100%, bro. This is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna slot in the wing backs. You know what I mean? You guys let me know what you think in the comments. I'm gonna slot in the wing backs on this side. I'm gonna put this guy because guess what? I want to see him get in, and I think he's been performing really well in the last two substitutions that he came on at halftime. He really did bring an energy that helped United win, and I'm going to put Garnacho on this side of the wing-back situation. So for me, he needs to work hard. He needs to suffer a bit. He needs to do some work. He needs to earn his spot. He can't just get it back right there. Also, I'm going to put Harry Maguire in this position, man, because Harry Maguire was epic. I think in a back three, he can get the job done. He can certainly get the job done. What are your thoughts in the comments? Let me know. You know what I mean? Let's fill out this team. Who do you guys think should be going where? Let me know. But yeah, I'm telling you, Harry Maguire, bro. Maguire is going to be very good. We can win, but let us be humble. 100%, bro. 100%. We can beat anyone in this league and can be beaten by anyone in this league. 100%. I agree with that as well. Harry Maguire is in my center back. It's the Carabao Cup, guys. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put who? Mazraoui. Who do you guys want to see here? I wouldn't mind seeing Lenny Euro start. So let's put Euro here. Let's put Euro on the left back, the left center back, and let's put Mazraoui. Mazraoui's a doubt, so let's put Delo. No, Malacia. Let's put Malacia. Let's give Delo a rest on the bench so that he can, work himself out. His performances has not been consistent. So this is what I'm saying. Let's put Delo on the bench. Let's start with this back line and these two guys here. Big up to Drex in the building. Let me drop the link if anyone wants to come in and have their say on the starting lineup. Big up to you guys. Let me know in the comments if you want to come in. Drex, if you can, hop in for 5 minutes. Let me know who you think should going in that midfield positioning there. You know what I mean? I'm going to just put in these two guys right here because I think everyone is going to be agreeable in this situation right now with this guy being a starter in one of those positions. And to be fair, he has earned it. You know what I mean? He has earned that. Unless the manager decides to rotate him. Let's see if this guy is going to be in the other position. At least this is what I am thinking so far. I don't know who's going to be in the striking position, guys, but let's fill out the two midfielders. Who do you guys think is going to be going into the midfield? Big up to Zick coming in the building. What's good, broski? Hope you're well.
I'm chilling.
Well, we was talking about some team news. I don't know if you got to see it earlier, but definitely the team news earlier was that Garnacho will be in the squad available for selection tonight. Rashford has been left out. You know, Mason Mount is out for 9 weeks. You know, there's also some reports about, you know, the uncertainty of Mazraoui. He might be unable to be in this game or might be just being kept back for this weekend. So for me, this is kind of what I was thinking in the sense that I feel like Delo hasn't been performing really well. He hasn't been doing amazing. So maybe give him some rest. I think Maguire had a pretty good game this weekend. I would start him again just to keep him fit. And I would start Lenny Euro. He's got some good minutes. He came into the game, played really well to the last 20 minutes of the game on Sunday. Maybe give him a start for 45 minutes. Let's see how he works. You know what I mean? I think Anthony's impact as a substitute in the Premier League and the UEL game last two games was very good. So I would like to give him a start to keep that link-up play with Ahmad, who I think definitely earns his starting position in the 10. I'm going to put Bruno there because I think he played well there in the last game and he was able to drop deep and interchange. I'm giving Garnacho a start at the wing back because of Mazraoui being unfit as well, you know what I mean, and benching Delo. So the options are, I don't know if you want to make suggestions for a midfield pairing here and our striker today.
I think I think Xerxes starts. I think Højlund's got a run recently. So, and I think don't get me wrong, I think Højlund's done really well in his run recently. I think he's exactly what we want him to be growing into right about now. He's on time, I will say that. So, but I think it's Xerxes' chance to kind of get a game in and start a game. In the midfield, I think it'd be interesting because I think it's a good chance that we see Casemiro. And I think also maybe either Kobe or maybe even Ericsson. I think it being the fact that it's a Carabao Cup, there's going to be a lot of changes. And changes maybe some players we haven't seen play in a while as well. Obviously, this has been a great game for someone like Mason Mount. I mean, yeah, but he's injured. So I think it's more than likely Garnacho might actually get a start. I think Garnacho. I don't even think Bruno's going to start. Genuinely, I think he might look at this as a chance to. Yeah, I think he might look at this as a chance to give Bruno a chance to rest. And see what the team is like without Bruno. I think the back line, Liniero, perfect. Maguire will be interesting, but I think it might be a Lindelof. I think we might see a lot of changes because I think he might. Yeah, I think he might prioritize the league and maybe the Europa League over the Carabao Cup. Obviously, this could take him to his first semifinal. Obviously, it's a trophy. Every manager wants to win trophies. I totally back that, but I think he might look at this and say, you know what, this might be a chance to fully rotate. Give some players a rest that really need it, because obviously we've seen a lot of rotation in his time so far at United. So that tells me that he really looks at the data. He really analyzes the data, players who are close to injury or fit or whatever. And I think he might look at this as a chance.
So he's saying instead of Maguire, we go and put Lindelof.
I'm not saying Maguire won't start, but just because I'm following the pattern.
It's cool, bro. Yeah, like, I mean, just because Lindelof is no problem.
Just because I'm following the pattern of how he's been since he's come in. I wouldn't be shocked to see Johnny Evans as well. You know, like these are things that like I can understand why you would go this way. And this is bigger.
Johnny Evans still out injured, bro.
Oh yeah, he is still injured. Yeah. So I think this is a bigger opportunity for Spurs to get to a semifinal and possibly a final than United winning this trophy at this point. I think for Ruben Almiron, he might look at this trophy and say, it would have been great if we were in a better position, squad and fitness-wise. But this might just be an exercise. And if we win it, great. But if we don't, I'm not saying that he's going to publicly say he's not too upset. But I think in the background, he'll be like, we didn't win it, but it's okay. Like, we can get over that. Because at the end of the day, we have bigger fish to fry at this particular moment. And this is about squad fitness.
So you think we'll play that right, bring back role then?
You know what I think I think is so interesting? I think Ahmad might start. That might be a guarantee. I think we might see Anthony further up the pitch. I think Anthony could occupy one of those 10 roles. I think it'd be possible because at the end of the day, not playing Dallo just doesn't seem like smart to me right now. I think because he's just playing, even though he hasn't been great recently, he's been the ever present. So he's always fit. He's always ready to go. He's always ready to play. So I would see Dallo in there. Yeah, even the way you have it set up, I can see that. I don't know about Malacia, but if he has no other option, I mean, De Ligt could still play probably as well. It just depends. Obviously, I know that you have injuries. Like I said, he rotates a lot. So it depends on how he sees the rotation. De Ligt played against City, Maguire played against City, and Martinez played against City. Yarrow came on towards the end. So you might see Yarrow, De Ligt in the middle, Yarrow, Maguire in the middle, and then like Lindelof. Because Lindelof came on against City as well. And then the midfield looks like it can pick itself. Anthony could very well play that role. Alongside Dallo playing on the other side, or you can even put Ahmad where Anthony is, but Anthony where Ahmad is. I think this is a good game for Anthony to start. He needs some confidence. He needs game time. And I think Almiron kind of, it's so funny. I remember I saw Almiron kind of saying like, yeah, I like Anthony. He works hard and we're just trying to figure out what's his best role in this setup. So you never know. He might get a solid chance to really prove himself in this game. And then also in the future as well. And I think that role, left wing back or even right wing back for him, could be a role that he can thrive in. So yeah, Ahmad has been proving himself left, right, and center. Garnacho needs to step up. I think Kobe Mainu as well. A lot of people are going to hate me for saying it, but he needs to step up. He has to find that level that he was kind of at last season, or when he broke into the squad. Because he looks a bit unathletic. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for saying it, but he does look a little bit unathletic, Kobe Mainu.
Yeah, I mean, I think he needs to work a little bit on his athleticism, but I think that's something that he can work on. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's different things he can do and these kind of things that will improve that. But I think in terms of what he offers, I think if he's on his game, which I think recently he has been on and off, that his performances will be consistently good. I think they will improve as well.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be honest, and maybe again, people can clip this. I don't care. I'm saying it now. When the ball goes beyond Kobe Mainu, nobody can tell me he doesn't look like he's running in jeans and cement. Nobody can tell me that, bro. Like I love Kobe Mainu. I do, and I'm not trying to say this stuff to be sensationalist or like any other channel out there or whatever. Just talk crap about players to get people to get views. I'm not saying that. I'm a guy who's a purist. I love football. I watch the game profusely. I watch extended highlights. I watch every game I can possibly watch. Kobe Mainu is talented as hell. He's a top talented young player. But if you watch him tonight, if he plays, you will see the ball go beyond him. And when he goes to run back, he's in full sprint and he doesn't look like he's moving. And people are going to look at that and say, nah. Don't talk about Kobe like that. It's blasphemous. I'm just being honest, bro. I can only tell you what I see with my own eyes. I can't tell you what I don't see. And ultimately, Kobe Mainu, as gifted as he is on the ball, off the ball, he leaves something to be desired. And that's the thing that he needs to work on heavily. I saw a clip when Almiron first came in. We all saw the clip where he's talking to Kobe. And he's talking about, and I don't know if anybody knows this, but to the untrained eye, he's telling Kobe in that clip, look, don't just arrive with asking for the ball. Drop your shoulder, then ask for the ball. Look at your angles, watch your shoulders. That's what he's trying to tell him. He's tell him, give the midfielder or the attacker who's trying to press you a little slip and then come towards the ball. And these are things that midfielders have to do. Paul Scholes was probably one of the best at it. Xavi and Iniesta, that's the elite level. Those are the guys.
100%.
Those are the guys who they check their shoulders. They're painting the pictures. Zinedine Zidane, elite level, painting the pictures before it comes, before they even release the ball. They know that. All right, cool. I've got two players over there. I got to overload here. Boom, boom. All right, now I'm gonna go and receive the ball. And Kobe's young, so hopefully it comes. I'm not harping on him or trying to downgrade Kobe at all, but there are certain elements of being a midfielder that I have to see, even from a young age.
100%.
So I have to be able to see it on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 10 role might be interesting. You might have to move to that kind of role, or maybe I think as a team and the team develop more comfortability with the system and how they play and what is expected of them, that it might just improve the play where we don't see those faults in Kobe Mainoo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, he's a young player. Still a lot of development
Time to grow.
Although he's super talented with the ball, like Ricardo Perez, we all agree with this. He's definitely super talented on the ball. So let's see how that goes. There's a long road for some of these youngsters. So yeah, little criticism here, that's totally fine, bro. Like I see the same thing with Kobe Mainoo. Sometimes I'll be like, yo, bro, you can run a little slow there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, but it's normal, you know what I mean? Because the same thing, like when I look at Garnacho, there's some moments where I look at him, I'm like, bro,
his decision making
running into that blind alley there, bro. You know what I mean?
His decision making sometimes makes me itch. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, why have you done that? Like, yeah, but I hope they can all improve. I genuinely just believe that with the younger players, it's the fine tuning and the growth. 100%. When I see it from the older players, I'm super worried because you should know better. But with the younger players, it's fine tuning and growth.
This is why I say, bro, like, when a player past 25, I expect to see certain things. When people tell me basics for players above 25, I'm like, brother, what were they doing in the academy? You know what I mean? It's not like I'm not trying to say that the academies are perfect or whatever. But what I do know is that you have to have at least be very, very good basically with the ball and with your basic control and all these things. And
you'd never get to this level. You'd never get to this level if you weren't.
Exactly. Big up, bro. So it's one of those things. So for me, when a player under 20, and I only extend it to 25 because some guys feel like, it should be there. So 25 is this. So guys under 25, I still giving you a chance to make mistakes. But after 25, I expect to see some refinement. I expect to see again looking to start hitting your prime. That's just me.
I would even say earlier. I would say, like, obviously Kobe's what? 20, 21 probably now, like 20 years old.
He just turned 20.
So I would say by the time I see 22.
No, wait, Kobe's 19, bro. Kobe's 19.
Okay, so he's 19. By the time I see 21, 22 years old, I should start to see you be a lot more cultured. On the ball, off the ball. I should start to see that you're reading the game better. Not great, just better. I think and the same thing with Garnacho. Garnacho's what, 20, 21? I need to start seeing that decision-making improve every week. Not just from a crossing perspective, because a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, you mean like when he gets the ball and he wants to take somebody on. No, don't take that out of your game. Be fearless. Be fearless. Take on your fullback. But I need you to also know when to do it and when not to do it. I need you to know when to play a 1-2, and your movement off the ball has to be just as good as your movement on the ball.
100%.
And I think that's the stuff that we need to start seeing from those type of players. Like, the young players need to start making better decisions just generally. The older players need to guide them a little bit better probably as well. I did see against City that Ahmad got in the box, and then I think it came back to Bruno or whatever, and Bruno miscontrolled it, but then tried to have a go at Ahmad. And I said, Bruno, the touch was poor, bro. Like, I don't know why you're yelling at him. Encourage what he's doing because he's doing well at the moment. But like I said, keep his feet on the ground, and hopefully this new contract doesn't Rashford him. And the other young player that's at the club.
I'm not even talking about contracts for the next 6 months, bro. Just because certain young players probably will be up for contracts and thing. And bro, as much as I would say I'm one of those guys that a lot of people feel I have an agenda against Ahmad, I just don't want it to go to his head. You know, I've seen us hype players. We hyped Garnacho last season, bro. Look at what we doing to Garnacho this season. I mean,
We've
I
been burned
understand that
before. We've been burned
he
before.
deserves criticisms, bro. And everybody, no one is above that, bro. But for me, when I play under 20, under 23 and thing, bro, I leave my criticisms to the minimum, bro. Because realistically, bro, if I make one criticism today about his performance in the game, that dead. I'm not talking about that the next day. And for me, it's because these young players take things differently. They're not that mature, bro. And especially in this time, this new age, the millennials and these youngsters, they don't receive criticism the same way we would receive criticism. It's a different generation. You know, they view criticism more like the final line of their actions, you know, the finite. But for me, we can criticize them, but we have to uplift them because these are the future. Whether we like it or not, some of these brothers will be the future of Man United.
100%.
At the end of the day, we could criticize them, but we could also lift them up because we want to see the best in these players. And the manager didn't coach Kobe that much, and just maybe I wouldn't say that, bro. I feel like, listen, sometimes when a team performing badly, young players' mistakes will be highlighted.
Will be bigger,
because if you look at when Man United had these top teams we had, when we brought in youngsters like Ronaldo came into the team, when he made mistakes dribbling the ball too much, we used to complain about it. That was a whole season of it, bro. And the second season for the first half,
even to this day, you hear his teammates still complain about it.
Exactly.
You hear Scholes talk about it and say things.
Yeah, and they talk. And the second season for the first half, he was doing the same thing. And that's when the guys in one of the games, Keane shake him, bro. What you doing? And ever since that game, bro, he sharped up. But you see, he had a team around them, bro, that not only was talented, but the mentality was different.
Top
professionals. So we do have that right now at Man United. And that's the biggest, most disappointing thing to admit, that we don't have that right now. We have a few of them, but not enough. And a lot of these youngsters who come through the academy, sometimes I feel like halfway through the academy, they forget why they're really coming through the academy. Like the hyper everything and the potential is start to go to their heads before they achieve anything. So before we start saying this guy is the star, let's finish the season. He had 15 goals and 20 assists. And we say, yo, bro, it's a good thing we get rid of Jadon Sancho because he was keeping this guy back.
And it's also about consistency. It's also about consistency over a wider time, period. Like if you think, like I again, and this goes back to what Mark is saying, I like these players. I want, obviously, as Manchester United supporters, we all want everybody to do well. I said the other night on the Rashford thing, we don't want him to leave because we want him to do well. But at the same time, things have to happen in order for things to move forward. So when I look at Ahmad or Garnacho or Kobe or what have you, the environment itself at Manchester United has to be conducive for growth. And if the environment 100%. Is conducive for growth, then there's no reason why these players can't take the next steps to the next level. Because let's be fair, man. I'm sorry. Look at Lamine Yamal. He's going to win the Euros. He's playing week in, week out for Barca. He's doing really well. I think he's got a little injury at the moment, but at the time, he's playing week in, week out. He's doing really well. There's no reason that can't be Garnacho.
None at all.
And Garnacho's older than him. So when we talk about age and ability and growth, it's about the environment being conducive for that growth. And 100%. if the environment of Manchester United improves, then the young players should improve. The academy will improve. The players coming through will improve. And I think that's what they're trying to build, as we've seen like some of the transfer links and things of that nature. I think they're trying to build an ethos of younger players coming in and the environment being ready to produce bigger talents out of that and make them top players. And so hopefully Almiron is here for the next 5-6 years, and we're going to see the best of Kobe and Garnacho and Ahmad and whoever else comes to the club who's young, and even Yarrow, for instance, because we forget about Lenny Yarrow because he was injured at the beginning of the season, but even Yarrow is still 19, 20 years old. So you want to see the best out of him. You want to see him starting. You want to see him thriving in this team. And the only way for that to happen is for the environment to become a little more healthy. At this point,
100%.
Rashford's leaving, or wants to leave, or whatever the case may be. Almiron's coming in and he's trying to stamp out, as many fires as he has. He's done a decent job at that so far. So you just want the environment to be I want to go through a week without anything negative about United, like in the press or coming out on in social media, and then see how we do for a couple weeks without any negativity. And that's what we need. We need silence almost for us to start to rebuild that structure the right way so these players can continue to improve, because as it stands right now, every week there's something either positive, it's something either overblown and negative or overblown and positive. And that's where that's where it needs to improve in order to give the manager time to really build back what we need to be, or what he sees us as, for us to really challenge for trophies in the future. But as of tonight, of course, you want to beat Spurs. We're away. It's going to be a tough game. Spurs are in a good way right now. We're coming off the high of winning the Manchester Derby. So, hopefully that translates well for our players. It'd be interesting. I think the squad that you picked, Mark, kind of looks like what he might do. I think it's time for Onana to sit down. So I like you going with the second keeper. And so yeah, I don't think we should see a lot of first teamers tonight. I think it would be good to rotate, and I think it'd be good to see if these players can contribute to the squad later down the line as well, because it's a long season still.
Yeah, it is. It is. And to be fair, bro, to talk about the academy, last night, the academy was high flying against Coventry last night, bro. Smashed up Coventry last night. So this is why I'm saying this again, there's pathways. As much as people may not want to thank Eric Ten Hag, created a pathway, and under his tenure, the youth, they became a force to be reckoned with again. Yeah. And with Amorim, what I can see is that they play in Amorim's system perfectly, bro. If you see those young team players under 18s play this Amorim system, guys, you would be shocked. They were broadcasting the game in the UK last night. I had to watch it on a kind of site because for some reason, man, they wasn't broadcasting. The rights of the game wasn't able to broadcast in Germany, which is weird because normally I get all the youth games. So that was really weird for me. So, it's one of those things where I look at it from this perspective that there's a lot of potential, a lot of things that come in for the future, but we just have to actually be a little bit patient today. I do want to win this game tonight, but at the same time, I think in terms of the holistically with the season, a little bit of patience, because it is an experimental season. We did really bend the season when we fired Eric Ten Hag. So whatever it is that this guy is doing, he needs to learn it. He needs to learn on the job, the team learning on the job. At the same time, yeah, bro, but with the Man United side, when they use a VPN, they get to MUTV, bro. Check it out for yourself. I try it, bro. I have a VPN, bro. So I use NordVPN right through. So it's like, for me, I tried that, bro. It didn't work. So I was mad. Trust, I was mad. But then I found it on another site that I really shouldn't be using, but
Hey, listen, it ain't your fault, man. I've been saying this for a long time. They need to listen. We all watch football. Just give us a streaming site like Netflix that we can watch as much football as we want to watch.
Exactly.
And then we won't have this problem.
Maybe we should gladly work on that ourselves.
You know what I'm saying? I'd gladly pay for it. I wouldn't have a problem with it.
100%. Me too. So, guys, what I would say is thank you for everyone for being here today. Big up to LT coming in the building. Big up, guys. Hope you're well in terms of lineup. I see him resting Ahmad instead of Bruno because he's the captain. And I also think Licha will also play, but rest the lit with Malacia at left wing back, Dalot at right wing back. Big up, bro. Big up, bro. Big up to Kenny. Said it's a must win today. Hoyland starts for him. You know what I mean? But, this is the lineup that we chose. Of course, I would have probably tried for Hoyland, but I do see the reasoning behind the consistent rotation. We do have a game again this weekend, and we have a game next week as well, midweek. So for me, keep the rotation going. Let players play as they play. It's one of those things where, we do like consistent performers. Of course, those guys should be let's say 5 to 6 guys in the squad for me, whether Bruno starts or he's rested, if Ahmad starts or he's rested, you know what I mean? Alice is saying Anthony starts, can't wait. Well, I'm saying Anthony starts, bro. You should believe me too. What do you mean Alice is saying Anthony starts, bro? Big up to you, Jack Reacher in the building. If you're still watching, you must be enjoying the content, so drop a like because it's free. Big up to everyone watching. This has been our presentation to you. The Manchester United match preview against Tottenham. It kicks off this afternoon. I think at my time is at 9 p.m., but at your time it'll be 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So be there. We'll be providing you with the watch along again. Your boy will be going on like about 30 minutes before the live. So come in, join us. We'll talk about the hype for the game, the different stuff that's happening. Let's get in, enjoy ourselves, and cheer for the Reds to get another win away on the bounce, because it's going to be, we don't need to win the Carabao Cup, but Tottenham shouldn't win anything, bro. That's always going to be me. You know what I mean? So big up to everyone joining us. Thank you to Zik for pulling up today. Big up to you, GB, in the building. Big up to Jack Reacher. I know you just reached, bro. It's normal. It's all good, bro. Big
Just
up
make
to
sure
Joe
you're there.
Blackman
Just make sure you're there
well.
for the watch along. Make sure you're there for the watch along.
Yeah, just make sure you're here for the watch along. Big up to the great one in the building and Lucky Singh. Big up to Kenny Fan and LT as well. Big up to United We Stand all the way out in St. Lucia. Big up to you, my Caribbean brother, as well. Hope you have a great one. And guys, we'll see you all later. Big up to Ricardo Pereira as well. Have a great afternoon and join us for the watch along later on as United smash the Spuds. I'm going with a 4-2 prediction. I don't know what Zik is saying, but
2-1.
2-1, Zik says.
2-1.
Well, okay. Big up to you guys in the chat. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later. I'll try to work on the timer for you, great one. Big up to you, bro.